Yeah, Pittsburgh. I tell you, this city is one of a kind. The way y'all act, you know. Sometimes I be going through my head like Gangstock ain't originated in Pittsburgh. It's the hive-minded way of thinking. You know how you can literally be tortured by a whole community. How y'all got this fetishized, like this addiction to watching people's lives like we're literally in a Truman Show. There's so many different examples I can give to let you know I'm dealing with such things. At the end of the day, y'all got a problem. Sure, I'm just sure it's because y'all got a whole community who y'all done did this to, from the looks of it, thousands of people. And it's like, I'm starting to feel like it's almost like a spiritual thing going on with y'all, like, but not in a good way. Like, y'all really accepted a lot of darkness. Y'all accepted the evil ways of the world. You know, you try to raise your kin to grow up and to deal with, I guess, try to live a life of positivity, but your riches, the things that you obtain to try to have your children, you know, live righteous lives, was obtained through evil, you know. So it doesn't matter. You're never going to break your family curses because y'all continuously get wealth through the destruction of others. So eventually, you know, you yourself might not see nothing, no consequences, no repercussions of what you're dealing with, but your children might, your grandchildren might, and y'all still don't care. You know, I remember before I deleted all my videos, I uploaded this video of this game I was playing where I can't really remember, but it's in my head. It was basically like there was a group of rabbits or whatever, and they went to like a witch or whatever, and it would cut off their limbs or, you know, or something like that, and they would bring riches to their family. They would be hurt. They'll get hurt at the expense of having riches. And then like there was one rabbit who said, "Fuck this shit. I mean, we ain't got to do all this shit. We could just go somewhere else and, you know, do something else despite giving into this witch or whatever, you know." And it's like they shun that rabbit who was speaking up. You know, it's like y'all didn't care. You know, and it was a more so like the younger generation rabbit that spoke up and saw the cycle and wanted to break it. And it's like they wanted to remain inside the dream. They wanted to remain inside the abusive cycle because in the end, they're receiving some type of payment, you know? The things y'all would do to satisfy your own needs is disgusting, you know? Whether it's because, you know, I don't know how to explain it. I guess people having family is just a different feeling. It's just, I don't never see myself destroying others if I had the opportunity to feed my family. I don't think I would choose that route, you know? That's why I know it couldn't be me on the other side participating in on this harassment, this devilish game. In perps, you gotta stop taking things so literal. You know, other TIs who make content, you probably share the experience of talking about your harassment tactics, and then they be so desperate and they take everything so literal. You know, like they increase certain frequencies and consistency, change things up. I guess, you know, I said I was kind of terrified of humans. You know, speaking past tense, and you know how I learned to move around human beings. You know, I got a certain way of moving about, you know, being around people. And let me just clarify this. Oh, excuse me. Fear is the number one tool. Once I realized this world, don't matter if you're dealing with other people, at the end of the day, people love to induce fear to control you. And so that's one thing when it comes to dealing with man, human beings. I know not to be fearful of you people. I mean, even when it comes to your harassment, it's all about fear-based tactics, and it's intimidation. Trying to put yourselves up as the big bad so I can fear y'all and lose my mind, or be intimidated by y'all. I mean, when I speak about certain things, I'm not really being literal. I'm just, I just have my moments, where I try to be honest with people and open up a little bit, and just be my authentic, real self, because whether, I deliver the message in a jokeful manner or it don't sound like I'm not serious, at the end of the day, I ain't got to do this. I just feel like since a lot of you perks be so desperate, you're so desperate to find out who you are, and if you don't open up to these type of narcissistic people, these minds, it's like they can't help themselves but to conjure up a personality or a character for you. Like being in society, you can't just be you, and stick to yourself and not bother by nobody. No, you have to be in the community. You gotta, I do this, I'm into this, I'm into that. I mean, I get it. I done been in those weird ass, communities where as soon as you move in, you got the neighbor, so hey, you the new guy? Like, I see it, but it's more, when I dealt with that type of behavior, it was more, hey, I want to get to know you. You're cool. But when y'all do it in this city of Pittsburgh, it's like, oh man, it's like going to jail as a black man going to jail. You look at the white people, you look at the Mexicans, as soon as they get locked up, and, just experience, not saying, just like experience from people who live that life, not from me personally. I've never been locked up. But, apparently, it's like, when Mexican goes in, it don't matter what you did. Of course, you get your papers or whatever they tell you, if you're cool or you're not cool. But when the Mexican guys first go in there, when the white guys first go in there, it's like their communities bring them on in. Hey, come on, you come chill with us, bro. But when the black people go in there, it's like, oh, this nigga probably a rapist, or this nigga type probably fucking pedophile or whatever. It's like, it's automatically hostile reactions, bro. It's like black folks, y'all just can't learn from other races, can y'all, bro? I'm getting off topic, but community, like Pittsburgh community, bro, it's like y'all just have this attitude of like, it's y'all way or the highway. If you're not like us, then you gotta get the fuck up out of here. And I respect it, These Freemasons, these Luciferians, these people who control this city, they put a lot of work in to make sure all you bitch ass motherfuckers are in line, They make sure that, the whole community paid out. Nigga, it don't matter. You could be the super villain. And as long as you got the money, as long as you got the connection, nigga, they'll be having you looked at as the white saint. I'm just letting these devils know. And I know, I'm only one man. What can I do? If there was real niggas, real people in the community that really went against real corruption, evil, I probably would have a lot of people behind me. And I feel like I do, but I feel like this world is Satan's design. For every angel, there's at least 10 demons, so for every good person, it's like good people is always surrounded by negative activity. When it comes to in a spiritual sense, like I'm not trying to sit there and say that, the whole world's bad and blah, 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 no. At the end of the day, when it comes to the spiritual warfare, bro, when you realize, you're the type of individual where you can't live that normal bot life, get a family, get a house, settle down, grow old, die with your spouse. No, you really here fighting things that would turn the average normal bot in society crazy, or to some sociopath or killer or murderer, or even just off themselves. Like, we're not here to live and see different reality. I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to go too deep on a spiritual sense, but I got a bad habit of bouncing off the topic to topic to topic to topic. I gotta learn to be a little calm and finish out with the thing. But it's like I always be trying to give y'all a reasoning on why I'm even saying this. It's like, I don't know, just going back to that thing of, being my authentic self. I'm just trying to be honest and show who I am. I mean, this, before I go off on a tangent or whatever, but Pittsburgh, when I look out in this community, bro, I really just see a lot of broken, hurt people, bro. That's why y'all instant reactions, for the ones who knows, for the ones participating in my harassment. That's why it's just this constant thing where I just piss you off. I get in your presence and it's just, you just don't know what it is, bro. You just, something about me, you're just, I fucking hate this dude. Like, I get it, man. That's just my energy, bro. I bring out people's true intentions. That's why there's people who really fuck with me, and there's a lot of people who really don't fucking like me, bro. And that's just me keeping it a being. It is what it is. I always said if I'm the asshole, I'm the asshole. If I'm the good guy, I'm the good guy. At this point, with this, the way the world is, bro, people just going to assume whatever they want to assume, bro. And at the end of the day, people really don't give a fuck. So when I make these videos, at the same time, I'm shit talking you Freemasons, but it's the message not for everybody. It's only for that select few, which is why that last video, the perps, y'all wasn't really liking that video. Y'all wasn't feeling that. Only 10 likes I seen on that motherfucker. Ooh, man. Y'all know what they say, that truth hurts, man. That truth, when it slaps you in the face, bro, is like how people truly feel, instead of you trying to project that image on somebody. When someone really tell you what they feel in their mind, it's like that hurts y'all, bro. It puts a hole through your whole ideology y'all done conjured up for a nigga, bro. It's just like a slap in the face, to the point where, y'all doing all this work. Y'all literally controlling every environment I'd step foot in to have this narrative. It's sick behavior. It's very sick, but, I see when you get money, when you have all the things of the world, you got money, you got power, then it's just, the next step is just controlling the minds of the people who's participating in your false-ass illusion of a world, bro. And that's just what y'all have. Y'all have control of the minds of the people living in this community, And for my TIs, I know people don't want to say, it's everywhere and shit like that, but I'm just going to tell you for just straight facts. Police states, blue states, the red, the blue really doesn't make a difference spiritually, and to God, left, right doesn't make a difference. But to really understand why some people receive more harassment than others is because think of these blue states, and Pennsylvania is a blue state, so it's a police state. That means, and to bring out to the ratchet way, that means that the government has successfully bitched out the whole community. So now the government ain't got to do shit. All they got to do is tell the community to go do their bullshit, which is why in Atlanta, I was cool with the community, but I was getting harassed by the cops almost every damn day I stepped out. Or every time I stepped outside, bro, I was damn near getting harassed by the cops. I got pulled over by the cops 25 times. Never got locked up. Never had drugs on me. If people want to say that shit. Never had anything illegal on me. I'd live life to where I know, nigga, I'm not about to live a life of crime and knowing I got to look out for my people, and I got to also look out for the cops. No, I'm gonna live in the system, get my money the righteous way. So I just gotta worry about the government fucking with me for no reason. I ain't gotta worry about the people because I'm cool with the people. But in cities like Pittsburgh, man, y'all really show how the government done bitched y'all out, bro. Like y'all morals, y'all honor, y'all respect. Yeah, that shit is gone, bro. All y'all is just a price tag. Y'all like these new age females, just product, who got the most money. That's who getting the booty, Shout out to the real queens out there, and you actually, you look for a man's mind and you don't care about the money, and you yourself probably got with your man when he had nothing, and now y'all got something, Shout out to the real queens out there. Don't try to paint me to be some fucking incel, bro. Where I hate female. Oh man, those indirects and subliminals I used to get like crazy. I done went through the goddamn list when it comes to dealing with these people that been trying to paint an image on me. Gay, fucking incel, hate all humans, kid lover, like us. This is why I'm comfortable with getting online and speaking in such detail about the things that I experience when it comes to dealing with this, because I've never experienced this behavior from anywhere else. Pittsburgh is one of a kind, and kind of what I was trying to get into in the beginning of the video. Pittsburgh has this thing, and I never dealt with this thing anywhere else, but y'all got this weird problem that just gives it away. I know what I'm dealing with in this city is very spiritual, but a lot of Pittsburghs tend to speak in third person when they're around me, and they want to act like, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like they're narrating their life while having a conversation with somebody. So just a little example. It happened to me multiple times. There was one time I was sitting with Ella, and I was talking to some guard or whatever, some older lady. I was making her, laugh and have a good time, and then out of nowhere she was like, "Oh, this guy, he's pretty funny. He's pretty funny." Like, okay, why didn't you just say, "Hey, you're pretty funny, dude"? Like, what the fuck was that? And there was another time where I was talking to it was actually, that's funny, it was another coworker. This was like in the beginning of my harassment in Pittsburgh, where it really wasn't that bad. I was talking to some beautiful Redbone. Beautiful, I ain't gonna lie, she's beautiful, but she was working with me for about a week, and then she got fired. But every day we came in, bro, we were just laughing, having a good time. She used to go scoop me up some bud or whatever. We used to smoke together, chill out, vibe out. And I remember one day she was just like, we were sitting there talking, and out of nowhere she was like, "Man, he's pretty cute." Like, and it's like, it's like when you're thinking to yourself and you hear somebody. It's I don't know how to explain it, bro. I call it a Pittsburgh thing, bro. Like, it really explains why Pennsylvania was one of the first states to go off of lockdown, because 70% of the population got that, that jab, bro. It's just something about y'all city, and I just, it's that blue state thing. There's a lot of programs. It's a lot of shit to where, have a kid, kick the man out the house, act like you have a disability, something wrong with you, and here's all these benefits and, all these things to just let you live life easy, bro. And I for the ones who knows that and who's using it to their advantage, I don't blame you. But there's some people that's just, I don't know how to explain it, bro. It's just like they're really using that method to not try out life. Like, that's why the program, this experience of dealing with gang stalking, I see, it's different reasonings of why your harassment is so bad and why it's probably not so bad. It's really the area you live in, bro. Like, Pittsburgh, I just can't explain it, bro. There's so many things I deal with, bro, like 24/7 Truman Show. Like, I'll just give you an example of, like, I done gave out certain examples and shit, getting off the bus, the motorcycle shit. Usually when I show certain things or whatever, they typically don't do them no more, but they replace them with other things, I'll give you an example what I'm talking about. Just give me a moment, But it's like this program, bro, y'all are just so full of it, bro. Like, y'all are really some sadistic, evil assholes, bro. And y'all really got the audacity, like y'all doing the community a favor. Y'all don't find monsters, y'all create them. Y'all create these monsters, bro. Like, it's all about creating a narrative for you, bro. This is why I can stay in the city for 6 years, minding my own business, not doing nothing to nobody. But every day I wake up, I just got people in my path. It's like y'all almost be forcing yourselves to be angry at a nigga. Like, y'all just want somebody to hate. And I'm not, this message is not for everybody, bro. This is only for the ones who truly know. You can try to paint me to be whatever you want, but at the end of the day, you're hearing my voice, you're hearing my true thoughts, whether it sounds like they're all over the place. At the end of the day, I'm telling you how I feel about everything, And y'all really want to treat a nigga like you're just ignorant, You don't know what the fuck going on. Really, there was a point in my time where I just, like I said in the beginning, like before I deleted all my videos, the main reason why I made this is just to see how bad they can get, If you've been following me for years, you know exactly what I'm talking about, bro. Like, my objective was to see how bad they will get. And I also may cut you on a little secret about me also. That's how I know God is real. And, I have my moments, bro. It's just, I deal with a lot of evil shit, so you got to forgive me. But I made this bet with God, and I always wanted this. I don't really know how to explain it, but I'm just going to go out and say it. I always say I wanted to know what's, and I don't know why I said that, but I said that ever since I was a kid, bro. I was like, and I never understood. It's like I always knew when I was a child, I was more connected to God, but I always said, I want to know how evil mankind can get. And I never understood why I said that. And now experiencing this program, it's like I can see the full extent of human negative behavior that you can receive from a human being. Fuck demons. Fuck what I know. Human beings walking around are the most evil, diabolical shit. Niggas can say devilish this and demon that, but I see human beings out here performing. Christ is acting in the community, literally psychologically abusing people until they lose their fucking minds. Like, that type of behavior is just, that is way beyond wicked, way beyond anything y'all are calling somebody else. I don't know what it is with you fucking narcissists and y'all weird ass people when it comes to weighing sin, you do this, so we hate you, but we do this, but it's not what you do. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. You're gonna be sitting in hell with the supposed murderer you hate, the supposed rapist you hate, the supposed pedophile you fucking hate, the supposed crazy person you hate. Like, if that person either even goes to the same place, it's like the logic in y'all harassment, it really makes no sense, bro. Like, it's like y'all look into the deepest part of y'all hearts, the most negative parts of your heart, and act out. Instead of doing what God told you to do, be still. Yeah, they may not see their bad luck happen now. They may not get their karma now, but everyone who participate in evil, whether you feel like it's justified or not, look at your actions and look me in the face and tell me what you're doing is a righteous thing, bro. Out there, it's like almost killing in the name of God. T.I.'s like, it's killing in the name of God. Oh, you don't follow our beliefs, so off with your head. Like, who the fuck are you, bro? And at the end of the day, y'all are not following God when the way y'all are acting, bro. Y'all are playing God in people's lives, bro. Y'all not God, bro. Y'all don't run shit. All that money, all that materialism, you can't take that with you when you die. It's over. You're going to be poor in the next life. I can make a million different videos about the type of harassment, this type of torture I deal with within this community, but I just really want y'all to know, for the perps that's watching, for the community devils, for the people who just think it's funny. You're gonna walk one day in my shoes, bro. I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with. And that goes for every other T.I. out there, every other real T.I. out there. And I don't want to hear no fucking shit. Real T.I., bro, you ain't got to get on my page and talk about some coming from a real T.I. or I'm a real T.I. Bitch, you know who the fuck you are, bro. Well, I'm not saying bitch to the T.I.s, bit like who the motherfuckers I be doing that's perp activity to me, bro. Real T.I.s, you ain't gotta say shit, bro. I know. You ain't even gotta like, you ain't gotta dislike, you ain't gotta leave a comment. I know you know. Let's just keep it a bean, bro. You ain't got to prove to me, bro. This, after all, this information is for you. For the real ones listening, you ain't gotta leave a comment. I know you watching, just like these demons are watching. And you know, trying to infiltrate our little TI community, and you know, I see it all, man. And my only one advice for TIs: evolve, bro. Evolve. Don't become the image that they're painting you to be. You know, and that image they painted you to be, just evolve, bro. Become different than what they expect of you. You know, they expect you to continue to do the same thing, and you know, and these are just life lessons. This is what I'm learning. You know, I'm learning not to totally down myself anymore, not walking around like a bum or whatever, just because I want to keep people away from me. You know, it just gives them more fuel to further destroy you, bro, and help bring in on people to help destroy you. Oh, at the end of the day, understand these people are real demons, bro. That's why birds together flock together, bro. I'm solo dolo till the day I die, bro. It is what it is. You call me weak, call me a bitch, call me soft, call me a hating ass nigga. I don't give a fuck, bro. You know, y'all show me through the actions and how above and beyond y'all gotta go when it comes to this torture about how much y'all niggas are hating on a nigga like me. And I ain't got shit. When you taking your time out your day to hate on a nigga like me, everything y'all do is based off of hatred. It may not be like you mad because how I'm living life now. It's just, you just have a hatred about you, bro, where you just hate my existence. You know, understand, a lot of y'all really need to do shadow work. You need to purge them demons from up out of you, man. You got demons that don't even know you got demons. Well, y'all know the ones. I don't know what it is, man. He just do something to me. You got them demons inside you. You're aggravated like a motherfucker. Because the demons inside of you know who I am, but you don't know who I am. You just base your things off of what your handlers tell you, what these elitists tell you, these people who have money giving you a little gift card or your free housing or your free vehicle. You know, you oh, I just do this and get this. Oh, okay, cool, whatever. That's why T.I.'s who's really experiencing this, bro, don't worry about not being liked by these people, bro. They just already showed you, bro. They just already showed you, bro. It's time to meet better people, bro. It's time to outgrow your situation that you're in. Move on. All right, this shit is everywhere. Yes, for the perps who's gonna sit there and comment, yeah, it's everywhere. If you move, it's gonna be here, blah, blah, blah. It will never be as bad as my torture in Pittsburgh, bro. So I don't want to hear that shit. I'm moving when I want to move. Ain't no one gonna tell me, oh, you know, say some shit to keep me to stay here. No, I know what y'all got running in Pittsburgh, bro. It's purely some Truman Show, sick, twisted game to y'all, bro. You know? And I have faith in the people. I know there's communities that's not going for y'all bullshit, bro. I don't care about the government coming in and talking about some, I'll give you this payment if you do this and this to this, brother. Now, there's real people out there who really care about their people, bro. Motherfuckers acting like they care about money. Y'all don't care about shit, bro. Y'all only care when that phone cut on and you see a sad video, now you sad. You see a happy video, now you happy. You know, y'all fucking emotions just flick, 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 flick. Just switching like a dial, bro. And it's not your fault, bro. It's the programming. You know, it's the systematic control that they have over everyone in this population, bro, in this system. You know, it's not your fault. But this video is 30 minutes long. You know, it's kind of just finishing off what I said the first time, you know. But it was kind of my phone ended up running out of space or whatnot, and kind of lost track of what I was saying. I just went to sleep, you know. And it's probably gonna be a minute before I upload something. But you know, show if you really fuck with it, bro, like it, bro. Show me that there's really real people who watch me. Go ahead and like this video, bro. You know? You know, either way, bro. at the end of the day, I know the real gonna relate. And I know there's people just trolling, bro. You know, and I know there's people out there who turn our pain into pleasure. You know, it's not for y'all, bro. But I know the ones who's really need this information to help them along the way, bro. I know they're going to appreciate it, bro. And that's why I do it, bro. I do it to help out those, bro, the underdogs, the ones society said, you know, done forgot about. You know, I'm speaking for y'all. I'm speaking for the underdogs. I'm speaking for the people, you know, didn't think their life wasn't worth living. They were, you know, there wasn't no chance for change in that individual's life, and y'all just took it upon y'all evil selves to try to, you know, put the people through this program so you could receive a payment off our, you know, our mental decline, you know, or our destruction. You know, fuck y'all, bro. And also the ones who died, bro, behind this program. You know, I'm speaking for them as well. You know, I'm gonna tell their story. I'm gonna tell about there's always been this secret pain, this secret agenda to attack the strongest minds within the community, bro. Warp perspective of reality, bro, and put people in this artificial reality to control. You know, at the end of the day, that's all it is. And I'm letting these Freemasons know, bro. You can control everyone outside of me and do whatever you want. At the end of the day, that's all y'all have control over is people outside of me and never me. So on that note, this is Muhammad. I'm out of here.